One-year anniversary hit some in Southern Oregon harder than others. Newswatch 12's Rob Scott spoke to a local runner in last year's Boston Marathon. He's live now in the newsroom with more.
Justin Rosas ran in last year's Boston Marathon, and despite only being about 100 yards away from the explosion, he's going to lace up his shoes once again and run in this year's marathon. Boston Marathon runner Justin Rosas wore his commemorative jacket Tuesday and says he'll never forget April 15th, 2013.
It's actually been more difficult today than I would have guessed on the one-year anniversary, and I don't think I don't think about it every day. I do think about it often, but not every day.
Rosas completed the race about an hour before the first explosion, but was still close by.
We were actually driving back towards the finish line, and we're probably about 100 yards away.
He says the next few days were difficult, but the city came together. This year, he'll be headed back to run the marathon and says he never hesitated at the thought. Rosas expects this year's run to be healing for all involved.
I can see some of the sort of traumatizing, I guess, of that experience, but I think it'll be healing on the whole. And I think most people that are going back think it'll be ultimately healing on the whole.
There are some security changes this year, and Rosas knows safety will be a priority.
We're not allowed to carry as much stuff to the start line, and at Boston, you're actually at the start line for about 4 hours, which is a lot longer than any other race.
Rosas says he's excited to lace up his shoes and feel the Boston Strong spirit once again.
Those 2 days, and my experience in that time in Boston really is what Boston Strong is to me, is no matter what, being there for each other, waking up, loving each other.
Rosas isn't the only one from Southern Oregon who ran in last year's race and is going back this year. He says he knows of at least a handful of local runners who will be joining him. Live in the newsroom, Rob Scott, Newswatch 12.